You me.
Final countdown. This is where it gets fun. This is where I come alive.
A lot to say. We're just ready to show up, and Jake's in good shape. His mind is very locked in and focused for this. So, we're all looking forward to it. So.
Jake Paul is deep into a high-intensity heavyweight camp in Miami as he gears up for his December 19th showdown with Anthony Joshua. His team has brought in big, powerful sparring partners to mimic Joshua's physical presence. While seasoned coaches oversee every part of his development, Paul is also using specialized recovery experts and advanced performance technology to sharpen his strength, speed, and game plan. Each workout is built around improving technique, pushing his conditioning, and locking in mentally. Everything in his preparation is focused on meeting the toughest test of his career with total discipline and confidence.
Time to shock the world, baby. Time to shock the world again. You motherfucking sauce.
Jake Paul's preparation for his showdown with Anthony Joshua goes far deeper than most people realize. His team says that the level of effort he puts in rarely gets the recognition it deserves. Behind closed doors, he's grinding through endless hours of strength work, conditioning drills, and technical refinement things the audience never really sees. His coach points out that fans often underestimate what it actually takes to step in against a heavyweight like Joshua. Jake's training demands constant physical pressure and mental focus, pushing him to his limits day after day. Even so, he shows up to every session with the same determination, proving that his commitment isn't just for show, it's the mindset of someone taking this challenge as seriously as possible.
How much is sacrificed in the camp, and Jake sacrificed a lot to get ready for the last fight, on top of releasing the new brand W, and so he needed a break, and so we took a month off, got right back in there, and now we're getting ready for Mike, and we're not as heavy as we were before, which is a plus for us. I didn't want us to go back up, but you guarantee you can be ready to fight back. I think in the last 6 weeks, you've seen Jake slowly tighten himself up and get himself prepared, and he's really locked in now. So what we've been able to see is Jake evolve into the gladiator. He's slowly evolving into the gladiator that he has to become for fight night. About time he finishes his camp and goes through everything he needs to go through, by that night, he'll be fully prepared. His outer shell that he needs to be able to go in there and be the gladiator for the night, they'll have that ready, and that's what you see happening now. That's the process in which we're in now.
Every part of Jake Paul's preparation is built around one mission: finding a way to defeat a former world champion. Commentators highlight that his mindset is just as crucial as the physical grind. He spends time running through fight scenarios in his head, planning for obstacles before they appear, and tailoring each session to strengthen his confidence, while tightening up any weak areas. This mental conditioning helps him stay calm when the pressure spikes and allows him to stick to his strategy without second-guessing himself. Over the course of his recent fights, Paul's psychological growth has become obvious. It shows he's no longer just an online personality who stepped into boxing. He's developing the mentality of a real competitor.
Built for this. Enjoy the process, enjoy the moment. When it's over, I'm gonna be missing these moments.
145.
Sparring has become one of the most important parts of Jake Paul's build-up. People inside his camp say he constantly pushes himself by going rounds with seasoned fighters, sometimes even outworking them and sending them home. A reminder of how serious he is about leveling up. Facing a heavyweight like Anthony Joshua requires a different type of preparation, and this is the first time Jake is regularly working with partners who match Joshua's size, reach, and power. Those sparring with him note that this is exactly the challenge he wants: someone who can test every aspect of his game and force him to evolve. These sessions help Jake rehearse how to deal with real pressure, sharpen his defense, and test out offensive setups that could become essential when he stands across from a heavyweight of Joshua's stature.
Training with Jake Paul, when that was, how much sparring you did with him.
So training with Jake Paul, I got to understand how he was as a fighter. He was new into the boxes. He was developing at a very quick rate. This guy trained his ass off. Like, we was far twice a week in the hot ass Denver, Puerto Rico. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. Dude, when I tell you Jake was beating up all these professional boxers who was sparring them, it was just one of those like, bro, he was whooping their ass and sending them home. That same night he told everybody bluntly, I'm sending you and home. Only person saying is this guy Anthony. And he was like, the reason why, because this motherfucker's coming here and giving me work that I need. None of y'all feeding me the work y'all need.
Tony, Jeff, a well-regarded boxing coach, has pointed out that Jake Paul's current training camp is operating at a level far beyond the norm. He explains that this isn't a typical boxing routine. It resembles the kind of high-performance preparation you'd see from athletes aiming for the Olympics. Paul is using advanced technology, specialized strength and conditioning methods, and a coaching team that tailors every detail of his program. The goal isn't just to build power, but to sharpen his speed, stamina, and overall technical skill. It's a complete system built to prepare him like a top-tier competitor. According to Jeff, this type of camp helps Jake adjust quickly during sessions, stay sharp early in fights, and maintain an edge as the intensity rises. While many camps tend to prioritize one area at a time, Paul's setup covers the full spectrum, making him more versatile and better equipped to handle the wide range of problems a fighter like Anthony Joshua presents. The depth, structure, and seriousness of this environment show how committed Paul is to performing at the highest level.
Great strength training for explosive power, slamming that ball against the wall and rotating, just like you'd be throwing a hook. You see there, he's caught it, he's pulled it back, turning into it, boom. We also see he's getting in the ice bath here. Now, ice baths is not just good for recovery, helping with the inflammation in your body after what you've been putting it through, but it's also good for the mental side of things. Because when you go in an ice bath, everything in your mind is saying, get out of here, what are you doing? So you've got to get past that part of your mind that's telling you that and push through it. So it's great for your mindset as well. Now, one more thing I just want to add with Jake Paul's training before I give you a recap on it. We always see him training. Look, he's got like a group of people around him. There's cameramen there, there's coaches there, all spurring him on. Now, boxing is normally a very lonely sport. When you're in the gym, it's normally you and your coach. Unless you're dealing with a group of people, it's harder for you to get the one-on-one attention that you need. So when you're fighting as a pro, when I was fighting as a pro, it was often just me and my coach. Sometimes there would be another guy in there as well. Sometimes my dad would come, which really helped push me through the session. But when my friends did ever come, maybe one session here and there, that spurred me on even more to get the most out of us. As we see here, he's got people around him all the time. Cameramen, coaches, friends, strength and conditioning coaches, his boxing coach, and he's just his full team around him who's getting paid. What that does is help the fighter, in this case Jake, get more out of the sessions rather than being there by himself, which I think is great. When I was training for the Olympics, we had that sort of support around us and it was amazing. But when I turned pro, that went out the window because you've got to pay for that support. So now my final thoughts on Jake Paul's boxing training. There isn't anything I can pull apart here. Everything he's done.
Dan Raphael, one of boxing's most seasoned analysts, has pointed out noticeable improvements in Jake Paul's game since his loss to Tommy Fury. He highlights sharper technique, better conditioning, and a higher level of tactical awareness, signs that Paul is beginning to understand the rhythm and strategy required at the professional level. Even with this progress, Raphael warns that nothing about Anthony Joshua represents a small step up. The challenge ahead is massive, and the real question is whether Paul can apply everything he's learned when the pressure is at its peak. Raphael's breakdown balances encouragement with realism. Jake has grown, but taking on a former unified heavyweight champion demands near-perfect execution and a disciplined strategy. Growth is ongoing, especially when preparing for a matchup this significant. The host of the Wade Concept adds another layer to the discussion, examining Paul's mentality leading into the fight. While confidence is necessary in combat sports, there's a point where self-belief can drift into overconfidence. Some analysts suggest Paul might be nearing that line, leaning too heavily on his belief in himself instead of fully acknowledging the danger Joshua's power and experience bring. The host emphasizes that entering a fight with unrealistic expectations can be risky, making it crucial for Paul to balance mental toughness with honest preparation.
Well, but he's actively like, yes, I am going to knock out AJ. And in any other timeline, we'd all point and laugh. And some people still are pointing and laughing, but I'm just sitting here going, what has he seen that makes him believe that? Not only of what's happened to AJ, sure, he's been knocked out by Daniel Dubois, another 240-pound champion of the world. But what has he seen in himself that makes him think he's going to knock out AJ when he hasn't knocked out anyone since Mike Perry? And Mike Perry, as we know, is not a high-level boxer. He hasn't knocked out a high-level. He could hurt Julio Cesar Chavez, but Chavez knew to cover up and not engage. Maybe he thinks AJ will engage with him, and AJ does do some bad things in the pocket. Again, we'll save it for another video, but the only thing I can think of, and I said it at the beginning of this video, is Jake is absolutely delusional, and he's convinced himself of what's going to happen based on very outlying data, right? The Dana Dubois knockout, how he struggled with Usyk.
Hey,
Who are you fighting, when, and why?
I'm fighting Anthony Joshua because I'm fucking him. What? I'm fighting Anthony Joshua because I'm him.
Holy shit, just let me take a second. Is this motherfucker out of
Dude, it's light work. Light work. Well, at least my good old friend Tyson Fury believes that I can win.
If Jake Paul fights Anthony Joshua, I'm putting £1 million on Jake Paul. I want some free money.
Smart man, Tyson.
I need to see a bet slip, Tyson. I know you got it like that these days. $1 million's like a, like a slight 10,000 to the rest of us, or maybe 1,000 after those couple of title fights with Alexander Usyk. But I need to see the bet slip. I saw the line when, and this is kind of crazy, I saw the line when the fight first got made, and we put it in the video. Jake was plus 800 to win. Jake has now moved to plus 650 to win. That's outright. I don't know by knockout, I'm not sure, but plus 800 was already like, okay, that's, that's a big underdog. And Joshua was like minus 1,500, but now Joshua's at minus 1,250 and Jake's at plus 650. This line is closing, and I'm wondering why. What are people seeing?
Make no mistake, this is the biggest fight of my career. I'm walking into the lion's den. I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before. I, Jake Joseph Paul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua Friday, December 19th, live on Netflix. My voice cracked, I'm still going through puberty. The biggest fight of 2025. USA versus UK. He's got the belts, the size, the history, but I have the balls. Be careful what you wish for. Jake versus Joshua. Judgment Day. He has a 90% knockout ratio, but I have a 100% chance of drinking this Celsius.
Okay, there we go. Adds only. Yeah, I mean, having balls is good when it comes to making a fight like this, when it comes to, putting yourself out there and again, just operating on self-belief, but it isn't going to win Jake this fight. Him being ballsy is not going to win him this fight. Like, him making the decision to take this fight is ballsy. And we can all say it, and we have said it, and I feel like it's starting to become a thing where it's like, that's the only thing we're saying. I feel like everybody is just pointing out that Jake has big balls for doing this, and that's a ballsy move. And that's correct, but we established that already. So now let's talk about the fight itself. What about Jake's ballsiness is going to win him this fight? The fact that he wants to throw, the fact that he'll mix it up, that may be the worst thing that Jake could do, is mix it up with Anthony Joshua, because again, you get into 50-50s with a guy that can crack like he can, 90% finish rate. He'll put you on the canvas. He's done it to so many other heavyweights. And yes, AJ sometimes is the one that gets clipped in exchanges like that, with the left hook especially, but we'll do a more...
Former world champion Carl Froch stresses that the stakes couldn't be higher for either fighter. For Anthony Joshua, every move is being watched, and a single mistake could fuel criticism about where he stands in the heavyweight landscape. On the other side, Jake Paul's growing reputation depends on proving he can handle a true, seasoned, professional, and earn respect from traditional boxing fans. Froch describes this matchup as a defining point for both men, a moment where their reputations, skill sets, and career paths intersect. He explains that this isn't just a matter of who punches harder or faster. It's a test of discipline, mental control, and the ability to perform with the weight of expectation pressing down. According to Froch, the consequences stretch far beyond one night in the ring. The result will shape how each fighter is viewed going forward, influencing their credibility, their momentum, and their long-term place within the sport.
Jake Paul is not a step in the direction of becoming world champion again. There's many people who could box. He's not going to make that kind of money, so let's just be honest with anybody else. So let's just be straight up honest about it. He's doing it all for the money. It's all about the money. I did say a year ago, when he got splattered by Daniel Dubois, that he's finished in boxing, he needs to retire. It's just my opinion, that's just my truth. I think he's done in heavyweight boxing at an elite competitive level. So that makes sense. I've been vindicated. He's now fighting fake Paul in what will be a massive mismatch. This is correct, and it's 10-ounce gloves in a professional boxing rules, 8 3-minute rounds. It's not going to go 2 rounds, is it? It shouldn't do. It shouldn't last a round. But We're going to have to wait and see, aren't we? It's hard to get your head around. It's hard to know what to say about this. AJ's obviously excited about it, about making some serious bunts. And Jake Paul's telling us that he's going to shut all the haters up by jumping in there with AJ. So what is actually going off? We're not going to know, are we, until the fight actually, until the first bell goes. We're not going to know what's actually behind all this. And we can't start throwing accusations of any sort of skullduggery going off, because we've got to take it at face value. It's not an exhibition, so nothing's pre-scripted. This is a professional boxing match that you can make bets on. So it's got to be a real fight. And if AJ goes in there with them little 10-ounce gloves on and throws the Ngannou 1-2 down the middle, I'm talking about the one that rendered Ngannou unconscious and almost snapped his leg. And Ngannou is a decent fighter in the cage. You know, he's a good MMA fighter, and you saw him, he took Tyson Fury, what did he take him, 8, 9, was it 10 rounds? Can't remember how long it was, but he took him a distance and lost a close decision. So he's quite capable, but AJ's a big punching heavyweight and fake.
Jake and Logan, first of all, are fantastic athletes. You know what Logan does with the WWE and what Jake does with boxing, he knocks people out and everything, and they both have massive fan bases, and for me, it's great to see people get young people that follow them that didn't have, like, you know, they don't remember Ali or Joe Frazier or whatever. It's not in their wheelhouse. So it's great to see them developing fight fans and a big fight atmosphere.